Let's, so I set up this little makeshift display right here. I'm just gonna pull it back so you can actually see what's on it. And if you have a couple of favorites, feel free to point those out to the people listening, and we'll go ahead and spotlight some of your favorite items, and you can give a little info as to what they do and how you use them. That would be great.
Well, I say that every creator has 3 products right now that are out. So every creator has created what is kind of their go-to for the products that they need to style, right? So you've got Sophie Stay Gold, which is everything that has gold on it. All these guys here, that's going to be her collection.
I'm going to look at the book.
So if you kind of go in here, you kind of open. I open.
You can open them. You can do whatever you want. Kind of half pulled up.
Yeah, half pulled.
So I can.
You know what I mean? So it's got a little bit of like those gold flakes in there. So what's so cool about this is that, you see that in there?
Yeah, glitter.
So it's a fiber pomade. And what this is going to do is you're going to.
Great seller.
Hold on. You're going to put it in your hands, emulsify it, rub it in your hands the way that you normally would, and then you're going to do this. When you do that, you're going to get all these little fiber pieces, look like tiny little spider webs.
Yep.
So you really, if you look at Sophie's hair, what she puts out on Instagram, it's a lot of real short, really textured hair, right? Like very what?
Yeah, they when I used to sell big sexy hair, they had a line. I'm dating myself now.
Yeah.
They had a line called Things. And these things were in these crazy packages. It almost looked like a crab or something, like a little alien package. Their marketing was so spot on. I'm not even sure Henkel owned the company at this point. And when the Things, they had 3 different ones. And they were the first ones to really come out with that spider web effect.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
the spider web effect is cool because you slap it over the hair. And Barbers go crazy for that. It's got almost like a thick gel feeling.
Yeah.
But what's cool is if I wanted even his hair to stand up a little bit more, I'd go ahead, put those fiber pieces all over, and then just shake it out a little bit, and you're gonna get pieces that stay out, lay down. It's gonna stay all day. Then if you want, and it's got shine to it. So if you like that, right? Let's just say if you don't want someone's got really thin hair, but you want the root to lift up. You're gonna use the pump spray. The pump spray is going to be like a texture powder, but it's going to be really dry. You put that on the root, and that's going to make it also stand up for that texture. You got the powder that you just sprinkle on, and there's a lot of powders on the market, right? So what makes me feel like this one stands out is the fact that it doesn't get super waxy in a sense. You can't get oily with it.
Is this the gold one that sprays on?
The gold one's for root lift.
Right.
It gets
root lift.
Big.
Okay.
It gets you volume.
Right.
The sprinkle one kind of just messy texture.
That's a little bit of wax base to it, right?
It's a wax base, but it's not gonna if you put too much in one spot, it's not gonna be greasy.
Right.
It's meant for just texture. If you got other ones out there, you can kind of comb down and put up. This is meant for texture, right? So you've got things like that. Her line is awesome, but you will notice all of hers is got the gold on there.
That fiber pomade is insane. I sell a ton of it, and I should also say I was supposed to say this before we started the products, but this podcast is brought to you by Goldytv, Goldytv.com. If you don't know my name, you're not in this game. I have over 1,000 products, best-selling items that barbers use every single day up there. We're working hard trying to help manufacturers and pair them with barbers. And today I have my friend Dayna, DG Cuts, is here with us just to discuss the statement line. She's doing a fantastic job of it. And this is sort of the icing on the cake, as she's just going through a couple of the items. And they are available through my company. They're not on my website yet. We have some things we have to clear with the company before we actually put them on there, because this is such a limited line in terms of its distribution. So we have to be careful not to violate any of their pricing issues and things like that. So I'm working on that now. If anybody's interested in purchasing the statement line, and no matter where you are in the continental United States, just hit me up through email and I'll review the pricing with you. It'll be on my website very, very shortly. But we just have to work through some of the map pricing issues and things like that, and the territorial distribution issues and things like that. I just have to work out with the statement people. But it is available from Goldytv, and we have Dayna here today, DG Cuts, to talk to us about some of these other items. Is there anything else? I seem to do well with the shine paste, the matte paste. I have one barber, all he buys is a soap.
Yeah,
I said,
so
what are you
funny.
washing with that thing, man?
That
What are you
is
doing
so
with that?
funny.
He goes cuckoo for that charcoal soap.
Oh
so.
yeah, I mean, well, the thing is that the creators also, before we kind of like get into that product, you have to remember that each creator is different, and they all wanted their signature scent, right? So when you get into these products, every single creator has a different scent. So Sophie's, I always get them confused a little bit. So Sophie's is invigorating mix of citrus, peppermint, aquatic, and woodsy.
Nice.
So it's just, people like go cuckoo for that stuff. Julius's is my favorite line so far that I work with personally. Now, if you look at like my type of hairstyles, I got lots of longer lengths. I do everything from like short and funky to way longer, and I find that that's kind of my go-to. I use the shine paste, I use the matte paste, I use the hairspray.
His is the black on black line, right?
Black on black line.
Right.
And his scent is out of control, but my favorite scent also, like, God, it's so hard. All right, so Nomad, the barber, he's got a grooming spray, this bad boy here.
Yep.
I don't
that's
know.
fire.
People do not know how to use this, and I will tell you how to use this because it is so underrated for what it is.
Can they use that as like a sea salt spray?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right.
But it is like you start spraying this in the room, and people just want to buy it just because of the way that its scent is. So if you look at Nomad's, he's got a fresh mix of spices, lavender, and a hint of wood. But every time I spray this in the air, whoever's in my shop, they end up buying it. They want it. It's so good. How I use this is as a barber and a stylist. Let's say I'm taking off a little bit of length. I want to go in. I want to get the hair wet, towel dry, and then I'm going to spray it all down. I'm going to spray it evenly everywhere. It's going to maintain porosity in the hair, meaning I can get the correct tension throughout the entire cut. I don't have to keep spraying down. It's not going to dry it out too fast. Also, it's going to just give it like that experience, like all of a sudden they get this scent. You're now gliding through the hair. Everything feels good. Your sections are cleaner because of it. It's awesome. So then it's already in the hair, and you get to like blow dry. It shortens up your blow dry time. It helps stand up the roots. So in a sea salt spray way, it's not going to be as tacky or sticky as a sea salt spray would be. If you put too much on, let's say someone's coming in, they got hair down here, and they want to just like trim it. You don't want to spray this all over. You'll want to mix a little bit of this in your water bottle. Yeah. Just because you don't want all that sitting on it. Blow drying it's going to be tough. But other than that, like short hair, this stuff is amazing. I use this on every client, no matter what, and most of them buy it just because they like the way it smells. Like it's the fragrance is just.
I kept saying, why are we selling so much of this? What is it about this thing?
People go nuts for it. It really is awesome.
Good.
I don't think you have the hairspray on you.
I don't. I was looking at.
So I learned something recently about the hairspray, and I thought it was super cool. So
this is the aerosol one, right?
Yeah. So it's a flexible hold hairspray.
Yep.
That's out of Julius's line. So you're gonna still get that like creamy coconut, sandalwood, inflection of orris. His, to me, is like the best scent you could possibly have in a
Julius
product.
is the best scent.
Oh my God. It's like sexy. It's smooth. It's good.
All right.
It's just yummy. But so when I finish off with hairspray, then I go ahead and I'm like, most hairsprays get kind of sticky very fast.
Right.
Because this is a flexible hold hairspray, I have a little tip that I kind of try to tell people. Before you put, like if you're trying to style all crazy for some Instagram post or something like that, you're spraying down with hairspray, you want to spray a little bit further away. I always say like an elbow for my clients, right? You're not trying to do this. But I test the tackiness. So if it's like 8 seconds, that means I have 8 seconds to mold that hair before it starts to dry out, right? And once it starts to dry out, you start now pulling pieces apart, and you don't want to do that. So this is about 8 seconds, but Julius considers himself a session stylist. He does a lot of like lifestyle shoots. So he wanted to make it small enough of a can. It's got a lot in there, but a small enough a can where you just put it in your back pocket.
I noticed that it was very, very small.
Yep, he wants to put it in his back pocket so that way he doesn't have to worry about putting stuff on cards and whatnot.
Right,
so when we talk about like that lifestyle, it's like all those, there's nothing that was overlooked. It was, this is what I need. This is workable. Like, how many barbers you see, they got dust brushes in their back pockets, they got all kinds of stuff.
I had one dude with the flak jacket.
Oh, yeah.
And he had, instead of ammo, he had clips, end papers, he had all these combs,
all the things.
Scissors,
So
brushes.
that's why he's like, I want something I can keep in my back pocket. And then you've got, his matte paste, to me, is probably one of the best products I've ever used.
It sells well.
It's amazing.
We sell a lot of it.
It's not matte where it's drying. It's still very creamy. The scent is amazing. But it's also, it's good for so many different types of hair. And one thing I want to talk about with Statement, before I get coupled into, Nomad's collection, is when we say, why are we different? When you ask, why are we different? When you sell this product, and let's say some people they're going to buy it just to use it, maybe they don't sell product. But if you happen to have this on your shelves to sell, this is a collection that you can actually sell 3 of them at once very easily. And it sounds crazy in the barber world to do that, but it's true.
How so?
And so it's all the way that you approach it, right? So, like I said, this isn't going to be for every barbershop, but it's going to be for the barbers that are the ones that take classes, the ones that educate themselves a little bit more. Those are the ones that are going to end up pushing these products a lot faster than ones that maybe just use one product, right?
Right.
And it's okay for either one. There's no judgment. It's just kind of who are you and what you want to do. But if you wanted to make profit off of a product line, this is going to be it. Because here, let's say I'm cutting someone's hair. I'm spraying this all in, right? This is my cutting lotion, but it's my base as my blow dry. If someone's hair lays flat, now I have a root lift. I have a base root lift already in. So all I have to do is just spray it on. Then I tell them a little bit about it. This can help me blow dry. If you have trouble blow drying at home, 2 seconds, quick. It's going to lift up the front. And I start to put it in front of them. Let them try it out. Most of the time they want it just because it smells good. Then let's just say I go ahead and I use the fiber pomade. So now I'm using my fiber pomade. I'm getting it all over the place. I'm styling with it. But I know that our elements in New England are super harsh.
Right.
We have days where we need hats. We need, hot beating summer days. We've got your fall crisp days. There's so many different things that we do on a daily, every single season. There's so many different humidity levels. So let's say I put this on. Now I'm going to lock it with the hairspray. Right? So now it's if you want your hair to look exactly like this, then these are the 3 things I used. Do you need to buy them all today? No. So pretend I have the hairspray here. You don't need to buy them all today, but this is what I suggest. And here's the thing is that we try to say you need this, not this is what I used. It's more you need this in order for it to look
the
this
way it looks, right.
And they last a long time. So the turnover isn't going to be fast on these products, but they just bought 3. Now they don't need, maybe they need this one because people overspray.
They're good for a long while.
You can't overspray. It's never going to make your hair gross. You can spray it 5 million times and your hair's going to be the same. So, you're not going to overuse it. And so therefore it does last. And so the price point is great because it's worth the money. It's
Great
not something that you just, you put a ton in. And let's say if someone is going through it, you have to be the one behind the chair that's the professional that says, hey, buddy, you're using too much. So a lot of times what happens is, especially fiber pomades, classic pomades, they do this and the client does this. And then everything gets stuck in the palm of our hand. It goes right there.
Right.
And they're it doesn't look good. You have to educate them. Right. So this is a brand that is so important to educate your clients on, but you definitely can sell 3 and without pushing it. You don't have to be a product pusher. I'm not a product pusher. I just inform my clients of what they need if they
you shouldn't have to be able to push anything on anybody if you educate them properly to make their own decision. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And a lot of days now too, if they're getting a bald fade every week and it's short and cropped on top, they're gonna need 3 products? No. So it's the clients with longer hair. It's the clients that have a hairstyle is going to need these. So you're not pushing 3 products on everybody, but pick and choose who you're educating. So
unbelievable information, fantastic.
And it's easy. It's so easy. But yeah, anyone can hit me up for more of that information. I'm sure any of the educators, ambassadors, creators would love to talk about that. Mm-hmm. But then let's go into Nomad's collection real quick. So you got Nomad. His is more classic barbering. So when people are like, oh, like this is more for fancy or whatever, like we do have all that classic barbering. So slick backs, let's see here, classic pomade. You're gonna have your slick back. He's got the grooming spray. So also another thing, grooming spray can be kind of used as like a tonic. Someone has a ton of product in their hair. You can spray this on it. It's going to break it up a little bit. It's not obviously going to remove it, but it will break it up. So for a lot of barbershops out there or salons out there that aren't washing their clients, this is something you definitely want to use as well. And another way to sell it to your client is, hey, you might not need, let's say you buy the classic pomade, usually goes for, I think, is it
24, 24,
yeah.
Yep.
So let's say, you know, they're getting a $20 haircut, they're buying a $24 product, they're like, what the hell?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the hardest thing you're coming across. But if you're like, well, you're using this and then you're breaking it up with here every 2 days and then rewashing, putting this in, like this lasts for so much longer. If you break it down, if you're like, hey, this is 4 months of product, break it down, it's like 8 cents a day, you know, something crazy. So
I love it.
You know, you just
You
gotta
sound like
break
me.
it down. Well, that's the hardest thing when you have barbershops that charge less. How do you sell a $24? Never mind, 3 of them.
Right, it's
How
hard.
do you sell a $24
It's
product?
very hard. I
If you're
understand.
charging $60, you got a $24 product. No biggie. But it's hard when you're, you know. So you got to really educate your clients. But Nomad's collection. What else does he have?
Nomad's going to be classic pomade, dry clay, and
The dry
grooming spray.
clay.
There was some dry clay.
Yeah, the
I do
dry
believe
clay.
I have some somewhere. Let's just see.
Little tip and trick about the dry clay: make sure you cover it,
Yep.
or else it dries out.
Dry, right?
Yes, so here's the dry clay right here. You know what I love this on? I love this on, for me personally, super short, fine hair.
Yeah?
That's like bleached or something. You put this in and it's just so cool.
So great for men, great for women.
You know, but if I touch that, like there's no creaminess. You're not feeling it. It is dry.
Yeah, dry. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
How
How does a product that dry break down when you emulsify it into your hands?
So
you find that it.
So I find that I get like a little clump of it, and then I actually.
It's all right.
I always run cold, so it's really hard for me to break products on my hand. Like most guys are kind of like warm.
Yeah.
So I get my blow dryer, I hit it for like 2 seconds, and then I rub it.
Yeah.
I rub it real quick. And
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's a good
It's got
idea.
a lot of oils in it, actually. Even though it's dry clay, it's got a ton of oils. So as soon as you hit
Smells
the
good.
blow dryer with it, it smooths into the hair.
Yeah.
Let's say someone has like even like Afro texture hair and they've got all the flyaways,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they don't necessarily want waves, but you went with the grain, but there's a lot of little flyaways. You could use that, put the blow dry on it real quick. All those oils are going to melt into your hand, and you're just gonna rub it forward, and it's gonna stay, and it's gonna look like you had a wave cap on.
Wow.
Let's say you want that crisp lineup. You could use something like that. You put it like this on your finger, heat it up, rub down on the lineup or your edge up, and then boom, get your babyless edgers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a laser.
Break out the hair.
You could also use like the hairspray for that as well, you know, stuff like that. But
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Those are unbelievable tips. I appreciate all that. I just learned more in 20
Do you
minutes about this
sell
line.
the shampoos or no?
I don't sell a lot of them, but I use that shampoo on myself.
So the all-in-one.
How do we get barbershops to sell more shampoo? What do we
It's
got to do?
hard, man.
Yeah.
I find that the all-in-one is easier to sell than anything else. Even for
When
me,
manufacturers come out with a men's line and they drop like shampoo and conditioner, I'm like, ugh,
I know
why
it's
did you-
hard.
Why?
It's hard.
Why?
The reason how we sell it is kind of like this. Why do you want to use somebody else's shampoo that has a floral scent or this
Right.
when you have like this all
Consistent.
goes with it?
Yeah.
Like I don't want.
It's good idea.
We met like one of the owners and he was like, "Do I want my hair to smell different than my aftershave or my I don't want all these different
Yeah, too many
scents."
different fragrances going on.
Yeah, you know, and I was like, oh, that's smart because I'm not a dude. I don't really think about it. I'm like, oh my god, you put stuff on your face, and so then I was like, well, then we should have an aftershave, right? Because it would make more sense. But then you got Julius, who's like, now I want my scent to be a little different here than it is here. So
Well, there are brands
different.
that I'm involved with that do consistent
Yeah.
scents. They have a roll-on, they have a body spray.
Totally.
I mean, I'm skeptical about a $25 men's body spray.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
going to be hard.
It would
but
have
you
to
can
be something smaller.
you can
or,
do
you
Axe
know.
for $6 or $5.
You sure can. You sure
It's the
can.
number one selling men's body spray in the world.
Yes,
so
and it's
it's
damn
tough to
good.
compete with that. It's a good idea, I think, as long as the pricing is
Yeah. I
consistent
think a
and in
room
line.
spray would be really nice.
Yeah, but
Candles, stuff like that. That kind
Yeah.
of goes with the
I
lifestyle.
want to do a candle line. I want to do my own candle line.
Should.
There's a company in Massachusetts that does white label candles for Amazon, and I've had them on my things to do list
Awesome.
forever. I'm a big candle guy,
love
and
candles.
a candle line is pretty easy to start, and it's something that I'm definitely intrigued by and definitely interested in. And they're not that far from here. I just have not been able to get the time to go out there and talk to them. But they
I would
really
buy
have
them.
some kind of crazy operation.